So now that the grip and reel seat are mounted, I'm going to spine the rod. So what is spining and why do it? When a rod blank is formed, the fibres are wrapped around a form or mandrel. This leaves an overlapping section of fibres, and this stiffer section is known as the spine. We can line up the spine on the rod in different ways to ever so slightly alter the way that the rod performs. The theory is that if we line up the spine on the front or on the back of the rod will have a slightly more powerful forward cast and lift. The rod may kick out of line on the cast though. If, however, we put the spine on the side of the rod should track ever so slightly straighter during the cast. That's the theory. Whether it actually makes a difference or not, I'm not so sure. It's pretty easy to do though, so I do it anyway, with a spine on the side of the rod for straighter tracking. It's only really relevant, or possible, to spine the upper sections of the rod. So I'll start with the tip section and work my way down. The way to do it is to place one end of the section on a flat surface and the other end on the palm of your hand. Gently roll the section until you feel a pop. This is the spine. Mark the spine position on the side of the rod section and move on to the next one until the sections become too stiff to feel the pop. As a side note, I noticed earlier that the China marker does not wipe off this satin graphene blank as easily as other blanks. Since all of the markings that I'll make in this part need to be removed, instead of using the China marker as usual, I'm using low-tack masking tape and a pen. Now we'll assemble the rod with the spine lined up in the desired position. The next step is to mark the guide positions on the rod. The suggested guide positions for Epic fly rods can be found on the website. Using a tape measure or similar measuring device, measure down from the rod tip and mark the guide positions with the Chinograph pencil. Now provisionally mount the guides as close as possible to in line with the reel seat, and hold them in place with thin strips of masking tape. We can make slight adjustments to the rotation of the guides later, once the wraps are finished, but it's best to be pretty accurate now, so take your time. So now with all the guides taped to the blank and roughly aligned, this is when I'll glue on the tip top. The tip top can then dry while I put on the thread wraps working from the bottom towards the top of the rod, and by the time I get to the tip section it should be firmly in place. So I'm going to follow the same glue preparation procedure as before using the grip glue. I'm going to mix up enough of it to make sure that I get a good mixture that will set properly, although I only need a tiny little amount. And if you have a tiny pin, like I have a sewing pin here, this can be good for getting glue right down inside the tip top, which even with a toothpick can be pretty tricky. So you can leave the rod to dry with the tip top on in the cardboard rod holder, but I'm going to leave it in these rod holders since I'm using the cardboard to do the thread wraps in a minute. So we can get started. Mount the tip top in line with the other guides and clean up any squeeze out with denatured alcohol and a cotton bud or toothpick. With the eye pointing down, there'll be no unwanted rotation of the tip top as the resin sets. Well, that's it for this part. In the next video, we'll wrap the rod with thread. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.